family of the late Adams Mahama say the burial of the former Upper East Regional Chairman will come up tomorrow once the leadership of the NPP agree to arrangements made. Let's now get onto the phone lines and speak to our Upper East Regional correspondent Albert, who joins me now. So, Albert, what more can you tell us on this particular issue?
Well, the spokesperson for Adams Mahama's family, Muhazu Isaka, has been telling me that once he belonged to two families, that is his family of birth and the MPP family, there has to be consultation between the two families, and then the burial can take place. Nonetheless, they are hoping that everything should go in place for the burial to happen tomorrow. He's also been talking about the police and what they have been saying. He says that they've been a little busy with what's going on in the family, and there hasn't been too much communication between the family and the police. On the autopsy report, he says that it hasn't been given to them yet. The family has not received the autopsy report from the police.
Thank you very much, Albert, for that update. Now, Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan, is calling for a full probe into the death of Mr. Adams Mahama following an acid attack on him Wednesday night. Mr. Japan believes the incidents surrounding the death of the party's Upper East Regional Chair are ones that require an invitation from the police to the party's national chairman, Paula Foko.
You're said to have accused a number of people in the party for what happened to Mr. Adams Mahama. Why so?
Yeah, I'm saying that because when you reflect soberly on what has gone on in the past and the undermining of all the efforts Nanado is making, then, it points clearly to those guys. Because, one, if you are doing investigation, you simply ask yourself what triggered the crime. Just last week, the chairman and the general secretary went there and they attacked them, which I believe they said it was through the regional chairman that orchestrated that. And I condemn that because they beat the organizer, which is not right. We should tolerate each other. Even if they did not inform you, you don't go out there and organize people to beat him. In the same way, nobody deserves to die. So if today, just last week, the man who organized to resist the general secretary and the chairman, we wake up Thursday morning and he's dead. And the person who has been arrested is the national chairman of MPP party's brother, who has been accused of killing a regional chairman of MPP. Anywhere in the world, the noble thing they should have done is just tender in their resignation.
So you would also add on to the numbers that are saying that they should resign, they should step aside?
Yes, they have to resign. At the steering committee on Tuesday, both of them categorically stated that that chairman should be suspended.
If you say both of them, who are you referring to?
General secretary and the chairman.
They mentioned that the Upper East Regional chairman should be suspended. Why? Did they give any reasons for that?
Yeah, their reason is what happened over there. So all I'm saying is that nobody deserves to die. And I'm commenting on this because I've been threatened several times. I have a group of people who went to Golden Tulip in Kumasi, plan to kill me. You can ask Andy Apiekubi. All these things are going on. The anti-Nanadu people, they are treacherous, and they have exhibited it.
You are believed to have said that you are going to, no matter what, try and get justice to be served. If it doesn't get served, you will, in your own way, get justice served. How so?
We will get them out.
How will you get them out?
We will get them out. We are the people that voted for them, and we'll get them out. That I assure you. We voted for them. And anybody who wants to sabotage MPP's victory, will get him out. And this is time for us to get these two people out. And this guy too is included. Sammy Crab. Go and see his Facebook. What Sammy Crab put over there. That nobody, and I quote, nobody has monopoly over violence. So if you attack Kwabena Japan and Afoko, somebody will also attack you too. They think they are the only men in this country or in MPP. Kwabena Japan says he has the men. Afoko says he has the men. We will see. If we don't get justice in this party, we will see what we will get justice.
Now, administrative staff of the opposition New Patriotic Party are said to have abandoned their offices following a threat of a youth protest. Let's get on the phone lines now and speak to Asin Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Japan, who joins us now over the telephone. So, Mr. Japan, information we are gathering so far indicates that yourself and a few others are the ones instigating this youth protest. How true is that?
Please, can you raise your voice a bit? The line is very faint.
Okay, so Mr. Japan, I was asking that so far what we've gathered suggests that yourself and a few others are the ones instigating this youth protest. How true is that?
Instigating what?
A youth protest.
A youth
protest to get the chairman of the party, that's Mr. Paul Afoko, and the general secretary to resign.
Yeah, that is different from what I heard. Well, I have not asked anybody, but I think they have to resign. But I have not called any individual to gather to force the chairman and the general secretary to resign. I am saying that the appropriate thing for them is to resign. But I hear some people have put it on the platform saying that I am calling on the youth to go to the party or quotation. It is not true. Me, I'm not on any platform. No Facebook, no Twitter, no WhatsApp, nothing. Even if you text me, I only call you back. I don't text back. I'm very, very conservative when it comes to phone and all those things. So this is their social media. Me, it's garbage to me. That's where they put false information and all those things.
So Mr. Japan, why then would anyone want to link you to such an activity?
Well, they think maybe when I speak, it goes far, but I don't do negative things. So nobody should use my name for anything.
But you are on record saying that you want them to resign. Again, you mentioned a number of reasons, but yet still some will say these reasons are not enough grounds for anyone to resign.
Yeah, fine. If you is not enough reasons, fine to them, but I feel it's enough to get them out.
I mean, to a point where you say you are going to push them out if you have to?
Yeah, we'll get them out. If they don't resign themselves, we'll get them out. But this is not the time. Let's bury the man first. And after that, we'll also initiate it. They want to get me out of the party. So we'll see who will get his colleague out of the party. I have not instigated anything that will cause death. So at an appropriate time, we'll talk about it. But I have not, as stated categorically, that I have invited or calling people to go to the party. That I have not done that. So nobody should take advantage of that. Okay.
Mr. Japan, thank you very much for your time. Kennedy Japan is the Member of Parliament for Asin Central. Now, General Secretary of the ruling NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, has blamed the ongoing unrest within the opposition New Patriotic Party on disregard for the rule of law. Now, speaking on Joy FM's Super Morning Show, Esiedun Ketia posited the rule of personality has been condoned for far too long in the party and must be discouraged. But Member of Parliament for Mesia South, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, rebutted the NDC has no moral justification to call the NPP to order.
We cannot sweep under the carpet the fact that what is happening in MPP is not amusing to majority of MPP members. You yourself told us about volunteers who have gone to the party and so on. They are hurt. They want to see their party united behind their flag bearer, and so that they can pursue their programs. So they are frustrated that that is not happening. And that is the reaction you get from the ordinary party members. So if we continue hiding our heads in the sand, thinking that, oh, this is normal political activity, it can happen in any other party, then I'm sorry, we are not dealing with the issues. Why is it that individuals in the party at the various levels are issuing statements condemning this? Why is there reprisal attacks and so on? So it is telling you that if they are not careful, rule of law will break down in the internal affairs of the party. And that is dangerous for all of us, not even MPP alone. If there's an organization and they cannot stick to their rules, then it generates a problem. And so I think the beginning point is for them to insist on rule of law within their party. I mean, rule of their party constitution. From outside, I see that there appears to be rule of personalities within MPP at this stage. They should all come together and move away from that one and then insist that the constitution be obeyed. Whoever else gets God. And I think that will be a very good beginning point.
We're going to come to Dr. Opoku for some more insights on how this killing has affected the party. But I noticed you shake your head a few times while you were listening to what Mr. Sidun Ketia was saying. I mean, what he's calling for is some order. Is there anything wrong with that?
It is very, very easy to kick somebody who is down. But I will not sit here, even though I support what my senior brother has said in toto.
And senior MP.
And senior colleague. To support, to give me a below-the-belt jab on political tolerance from General Sidun Ketia. It's really, really low. I wish I could go into my element. If there was anything called intolerance introduced into the politics since 1979, it is from no other than this group of people. They've brought up a generation of intolerance in this country, with total disrespect to the elderly, non-acceptance of people who defy their opinion, the culture of impunity. Look, my brother, I don't support a single thing that has happened in Upper East. I feel that those who have been arrested, if found guilty, should be used as an example. I want to see what has happened in Upper East as a watershed moment in our political discourse in this country. We cannot continue. We cannot allow difference of opinions to degenerate into threats of people's personal life, in maiming and disabling people. Look, the first political assassination that happened under the 1992 Constitution happened to a regional chairman. He was smoked to death. The NDC had to organize themselves to try and ship him abroad, and I think he died around being transferred abroad to Germany or somewhere like that. He was a Western regional chairman of a political party. A DC was killed. The police has ignored it in Nkwanta. There were live shots of people shooting into a crowd in Chereponi. Nobody has done anything about it. People drove over into a crowd in Akwetia. Nothing happened. MPs were stoned. The former general secretary of the party was chased out of a police station in Akwetia. In Atiwa, people ran over with their vehicles over human beings as if they were fodder. Nothing happened. In my own constituency, Menchia, by name, my senior brother, had to call to national security. He doesn't know that I know. To caution them that, look, let not this political intolerance continue. What is happening in Menchia has a potential of erupting into something in Ghana. He went to national security. He doesn't know that I know.
Police in the Upper East region have dismissed reports that a second suspect to the acid attack that killed the Upper East regional chairman of the NPP has been arrested. He also confirmed that the first suspect has been transferred to Accra for interrogation by investigators of the homicide department.
People that are there calling names that this is the same brother. In fact, I don't know a brother of anybody because I don't have the family tree of anybody in this town for me to be checking whether this person is a brother to this person. But what we are saying is that 2 patients in each. One has been arrested, one has been sent to Accra. One is at last, and we are busily looking for him. And we are employing the general public if they hear of any place such a person is heading the show, let us know so that.
Okay, so it means that the rumor we were hearing yesterday and this morning that the second suspect has been arrested is not
No,
true?
the second suspect has not been arrested. We haven't arrested him because we are investigating, and if anything, the investigator must not go.
Okay, why has the arrested suspect been sent to Accra?
Yes, it is. That's why I say we are managing issues. In the first place, somebody will say, when you don't see, it doesn't become so ugly before your face. But when you continue to see, you feel it. If we keep such a suspect here, and the way the people are behaving, even in the cell, they can even go and attack that police station, thinking that they are going to kill that person, and even that. So we felt when we send him to Accra, which is mandatory in our own investigation of such, that even when the homicide will come and take over the case as they've just come, they can keep the suspect over there to make sure that they will go and they will do everything. But he's in a different land and he will think differently and probably come out with the facts.
Well, the PRO, however, defended the police's reluctance to release information on the second suspect who is currently on the run.
Names are similar. We may give a name and that name could be similar to somebody's name. And we felt that someone will hear and go and attack. We also don't want it that way.
But it will be difficult for the general public to help if they don't know this person.
We've informed our informers, trusted one of course.
Okay.
And they are moving all lengths to make sure they get the person for us.
Now, in the wake of the increase in acid attacks in the country, here at Joy News, we've been asking, how do people get acid and what is being done about regulating its sale and usage? Kwetenate has been speaking to some people who use the chemical often. Tell us, acid is sold on the open market. Joins me now in studio with more on his findings. So, Kwete, how easy is it to get access to these things, acid?
There is this popular place here in Accra, Abose Okai. There is this spot called Pambros.
Okay.
Just walk there, look for an electrician, and the electrician can easily get you an acid. You know, acid, the product has been displayed in the open. Every shop you walk to, you see car batteries, you see a gallon of acid sitting beside it, and it's quite interesting. You can easily walk to these people who retail the acid. The most important thing is you're a customer and they will just sell it to you.
And really, why is you always... okay, let me ask this rather. What are the benefits of this acid in the first place? What can we use them for in the first place?
For those who I spoke to on the ground, they told me that it's used by electricians. The electricians use it in repairing car batteries. They need to refill them when they are weak. Masons as well use it, especially those who lay terrazzo. They use it in cleaning the floor. And what at worrying again is that there is no regulation governing the sale of acid on our market. It has been so for ages, and it's quite unfortunate.
I see. So now, okay. Let me go to the phone lines now and speak to a pharmacist and a chief regulatory officer at Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited, Mr. Ebenezer Okronipa Jr. joins us now over the telephone to tell us what has been done or should be done on the use and regulation of acid on the open market. So thanks so much for joining us, sir. Now, do we need regulations for the sale of acid here in Ghana?
Okay. Good afternoon to your listeners. On regulations on the sale of acid here in Ghana, like the gentleman in your studio said, there are very few regulations. Actually, when it comes to the pharmaceutical industry, whenever any company is going to purchase some of these drugs, there are regulations that are supposed to indicate where these acids are being sourced from and how they are being used. So there are some regulations, but I don't think they are strict enough because they are still very available on the open market.
So we do have the laws, it's just that we are not enforcing them.
Exactly.
Now let me ask, what's the first thing you do or anyone should do after suffering an acid attack?
Oh, after having an acid attack, the first thing that should be done, usually depending on the severity of the acid attack, you may want to wash quickly as soon as possible. You can have access to water. You just running water, just washing off whatever acid has been deposited on the skin or in any part of the tissue that have been affected. And then as soon as possible, rush the person to the nearest health facility for assessment of severity.
That shows the extent of damage acid can cause. Now, again, to the main issue with regulations and all on acid, yes, you're saying we do have some laws, but they are not biting enough. What do you think can be done about it? Or what do you think should be done?
For the regulations, it's up to the necessary regulatory bodies. I know the Narcotics Control Board into regulations of some of these acids. So they will need to enforce these laws. But of course, there's some of the sources of these acids, apart from the right sources, maybe the shops that sell it. You when you go to some of these mechanic shops, the acids are available, especially used or spoiled car batteries, motorbike batteries. So they will need to see how to regulate it even from that level, which may be very difficult. But I think once they put their feet down to work on it, there should be some degree of control on access to this asset.
Okay, thank you very much for your time right here. That was a pharmacist we just spoke to. Let me speak to Kwetenate once more. Well, he's been to the ground, he's interacted with these sellers and some buyers. You did speak to some buyers, right?
I did.
Okay, and why were they buying, those who you saw there?
They basically need it for their business.
Okay,
and
so they were businessmen. So let's say they were masons or electricians, like you mentioned earlier.
But one thing I really found fascinating had to do with one thing. Some people pose as electricians and go to these stores to buy acid, and their intents are questionable. So I think they fall outside the bracket of what really the acid might be used for. And that's one thing I think it needs to be looked at.
And how cheap or expensive is it anyway?
A gallon of acid goes for 1 cedi 50 pesos.
Oh, that's cheap.
And then a bottle is 1 cedi.
Wow. Thank you very much, Kwetenate. That was my colleague Kwetenate, who's just returned to the studio from the market. He's been interacting with some sellers and buyers of acid. We're taking a quick break here. Welcome back. Let's still stay with the New Patriotic Party. Let's cross over now to the national headquarters of the party at Salam Down, where we are told some angry youth, in fact, we are told that administrative staff of the party have actually deserted their offices, well, over fear of their lives, obviously, based on some reports that some angry youth are threatening to besiege the premises and cause some mayhem. Let's cross over now and speak to our correspondent on the ground, Kwache Afreniama, who joins me live now. So, Afre, can you tell us about what really the situation is? Have these angry youth actually been there? And why have they left? Why have the staff abandoned their posts?
Well, we understand, and in fact, there were messages on social media earlier this morning about an intense meeting of party youth, and in that regard, that particular message that circulated, especially on WhatsApp, had Kennedy Japan party stalwart's name on it, even though we've not been able to confirm from him and Samuel Oku, who are reported to be leading this demonstration to the resignation of party chairman Paul Apoko. I can tell you that sources in the party say that, and this information from highly placed sources, that there have been meetings since months about this demonstration once again to demand the resignation of Mr. Apoko. And barring any last-minute changes, this protest will come off at 2 p.m. Today. And as I mentioned earlier, what is however not clear is who is exactly leading the protest. The indication through messages earlier, as I mentioned as well, was that this was being led by
National Youth Organizer Samia Oku and Party Stalwart Kennedy Japan. I've been able to read them, but the invisible force, that's the private security of the MPP, who yesterday declared a sort of a pilot school here, saying that they would allow any party executive, particularly Paul Afoko or Kwabene Japan, to enter the premises. So here, they insist that no executive or even administrative staff will be allowed to enter the asylum down premise headquarters of the MPP until investigation into the death of former Upper East chair of the MPP is concluded. And so if you look at the party headquarters now, I'm facing it directly, you can see that it is deserted. I've not seen any administrative staff here yet, and you have only the private security, the invisible force squad here. But there's so heavy security presence here, even though in the morning you had much more security or police officials on the ground. You had about 8 on the ground. Currently, you have just about roughly about 10 at the moment. But I've been speaking to the Nima Police, Divisional Police Superintendent Nuhu Jango, who also arrived here a while ago. He says that although they've not anything about this protest, they still have men on standby to avert any possible mishap.
Kwasi Afenyomo, thank you very much for that update. Now, the outpatient department, accident and emergency wards of the police hospital in Accra will be temporarily shut down over the weekend. The closure is to allow for renovation works to be carried out.
From 2 p.m. on Friday, May 22, to 8 a.m. Monday, May 25, the general public will be unable to access the OPD, accident and emergency centers of the police hospital in Accra. Routine maintenance is expected to take place over the weekend, which the police service says is to help the hospital deliver efficient service.
We are undertaking periodic renovation in these areas, including making it easy for handicapped people to be wheeled around, etc. And also believe that this will help us to offer efficient service to our clientele. There's a very, very temporary crucial. It is in the interest of the public, it is in the interest of the people who are sick that we make such a renovation so that when they are there, they feel comfortable. Yeah, because health care is very, very essential.
Meanwhile, hospital authorities are directing seriously ill persons who intend to visit the hospital to seek medical attention at other health facilities.
Let's do some business news after this break. On Wednesday, the finance minister, Setepe, schooled Ghanaians on what government's perspectives are on the state of the economy. He spoke about possible layoffs, but also gave reasons to be hopeful of a better economy looking forward. Well, we've been engaging some traders and market women on their perspectives of Ghana's economy. The traders are calling on government to expedite economic recovery of actions since their hard work over the years have not yielded much. They blame this largely on recent developments, especially the free fall of the cedi and the power crisis.
Events in Ghana over the last few years have led to a very difficult situation for businesses here in the country. According to trade unions such as the Ghana Union of Traders Association and the Association of Ghana Industries, a number of businesses have had to fold up. Now, those who have stood the test of time have had to adopt various ways of sustaining their businesses. Today at the market, we'll speak to some of these business owners as to how they're living up to it.
Me, I'm putting the blame on the duty because the duty went high and they were rather going for the cheap one instead of coming for the higher one. And that is how it started slowly, not making profit, paying your rent and paying tax. It's eating into your main capital. So that is how it started. For 2 years now, I haven't bought anything, but with the complaint, the taxes are too much.
Why haven't you bought anything in 2 years?
The last one I bought became a problem. I couldn't sell because of the duty. So since then, I haven't brought anything in. It keeps going and coming, going and coming. You don't know, maybe you get it higher now, and then you go for the goods. And then later when it comes out, and somebody also change and then go for the same goods, that person is going to get it lesser than yours. And usually when you go for the goods, it takes time before it comes. So maybe by the time the goods comes and the dollar goes down, the one who is going afresh will make more profit than you do. And if you don't take care, you can't even sell yours. I don't see any help. If there's any help, it should go into the duty and the small taxes. So if those duties and the small taxes are not there, you know you can go bring in the goods and then make some profit. But now, to me, I know it's only few people who are making it now. Because wherever you go, people complain.
Why do you think those few people are making it? Because the same economy.
That is the thing. You can't tell. That is the thing. If only they are paying the same duty others are paying, why are they making it? That's a big question. So, me, I'm believing it's coming from the duty side.
You
the way of making it. But you who go the genuine way will suffer.
Minister of Finance said Tekpe assured businesses the latest figures show the economy is on a path to recovery. But these business owners tell Joy News they fear their businesses cannot wait. Nonetheless, they will pray for a better economy.
Oh yeah, we hope for the best. We are praying that things will be changing so that the business will go on.
But how much more can your business wait for the change?
That's the problem that we are in now. You see, until when? So we wait until the crisis is gone. It's a problem for us to wait for a long time before the government do something about this crisis. So the government should do something, start something right now, so that the business will go on.
How are you hoping that things will work out for you in the next couple of years too?
It's only prayers. Praying God will bring something new out that can save the business.
One thing is apparent, that these traders are adopting the wait-and-see attitude. Each day they wake up to their businesses, holding on to the least of hope that there will be recovery in the economy anytime soon. Kemini Amano for Joy News, Accra.
Now, as the country battles with energy supply, some telecommunication companies have said they spend about 60% of their revenue on fuel to power their generators. Airtel Ghana and Techno Ghana lament the situation is crippling the industry. They spoke to Joy Business.
The energy crisis is dealing a big blow to us as well. In Techno, we are having to use about 60% of our total cost of operation is going into having to provide alternative means of generating power. So it's delving a great blow to us. But what we can say is that once you have a good product and the product moves a lot, I mean, it only can reduce your margin. But we are very strong on the market, and we're hoping that once the energy crisis comes to an end, we are going to be able to march on better.
We've deployed solar panels on a pilot basis in the Ashanti region of Ghana over the past 6 months plus to assess the possibility of using solar to power our base stations. Interesting to say that 60% of our operational costs comes from fuel and grid power costs. So it's in our interest to use innovation to bring that down.
The group chief executive of Tullow Oil, Aidan Heavy, says that maritime disputes between Ghana and Ivory Coast will not in any way affect its operations. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Heavy was confident the company's operations will continue to run smoothly.
No, I think you know, we are very much an African-focused business, and we're quite happy with that. And we think this is a cycle. You know, the cycle is. I've been around for quite a long time. I've seen the ups and downs cycle. So I'm very confident that Ghana will do really well. Our projects here are doing really well. These are the sort of projects that you would want in a sort of a low-cost environment, because the capital has been spent. So we're looking at long term. Like Jubilee's a fantastic field. It's a great field. It's a big chunky field, and it'll produce for a long time to come. So I'm quite happy with the prospects here. Also, the fact that you know, I believe that while right now it's very difficult to get investment capital into Africa, that'll change as it has in the past.
Let's do sports now with Benedict Osu.
Benedict Ogusu. You're still here on News Today. Let's do sports now. Some national teams are in action this weekend, and the national under-23 team face Congo at the Accra Stadium in the CAF Under-23 Championship first round, first leg qualifier. Now, the Black Meteors head coach Malik Jaber, who has beefed up his squad, hopes to secure a comfortable win against the Congo side led by former Black Stars coach Claude Leroy.
Since last Monday, and we've just ended it yesterday, and we moved to Accra yesterday. Now, yesterday afternoon, we started preparation from the Accra Stadium. That's where we are going to play the match.
So, how are your boys positioned now?
Oh, well, no, as for preparation, it has no end. Physically, we are fine, but we are now infusing 1 or 2 people who have just come in to help. So from today, we have a trial match today around 3. So we'll look at it today, make the finishing up tomorrow, and Saturday we'll be ready.
How's motivation like for the boys?
Oh, fine, no problem, no problem. As for the they are okay. They are prepared for the match.
So what should we expect on Sunday?
To qualify. That is all we are after. We want to qualify for Olympic Games.
So that was Black Meteors coach, speaking to Joy Sports there. Also tomorrow, the Black Queens face Egypt in Cairo in the 2016 Olympic Games qualifier. The Black Queens will be hoping to make their first appearance at the Olympic Games, having sealed qualification to the 2015 All-Africa Games in Congo-Brazzaville. Captain of the team, Esimal, says her teammates are motivated to return with a win from Egypt.
A win, of course, not just by word or mouth, but through our hard work, we know we'll be sustaining a win. What we have in mind is that we have the opportunity now. Who knows, next time we might not be there, so just make good use of the opportunity you have now. That is what is keeping us going. And the fact that we have never qualified to the Olympic Games before, we just want to leave a mark, and we know that we are a candidate. We could also be a perfect candidate, which is very possible.
Well, away from football, let's do some boxing news now. And undefeated Richard Comey is confident of keeping a clean slate as he battles Bahode Mamajonov for the IBF Intercontinental Lightweight title tonight in Las Vegas. Now, Comey, who is undefeated in 21 fights with 90% knockout record, is looking forward to becoming Ghana's 9th boxing world champion. Now, Mamajonov has 1 defeat in 8 bouts. Comey, coached by Carl Loco, is predicting an easy win.
I did all my preparation back home in Ghana, and then had a bit of training session for Mayweather's gym. Looking good, looking fit, and I'm feeling strong. And while looking at my opponent, I don't see any threat, because even though he's been in Austin, he's fought a couple of fights here, he's not American. So I don't think he's a threat to me, because even though he had fought Osman Akaba before, and then Osman Akaba was unfit, but yeah, he finished the rounds with him. He won him on points decision. So for him, I don't see him as a threat to me at all. Even though it's my first time fighting in the U.S., definitely I might finish this round. Whichever way it comes, I'm winning this fight.
Well, so on that note, we end sports here on News Today. Enjoy your weekend and have a great afternoon. My name is Benedict Ogusu.
Have you heard of obstetric fistula? Well, it's one of the most serious and tragic injuries that can occur during childbirth. Saturday, 23rd May, is the International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. Now, ahead of the celebration, a reproductive health specialist at the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, UNFPA, Dr. Robert Mensah, has been explaining the cause of the condition.
Obstetric fistula is like a clot that is torn by a blast when it is caused by obstructed labor, because the tissue dies and therefore you don't know what will happen. So the hole there is bigger and it's also irregular. Whereas when an incision is made into it, it is easier. You know you have the condition if, for instance, without prompting from you, without your own will, you notice that after delivery, especially, you just urinate on yourself. Without any control, you don't feel like the urine is coming. Normally when you feel like urinating, the bladder gets full and then pain is intensified. You begin to get progressive pain and you have to run and go and void. All those feelings you get when you are like, Charlie, I'm so hot with this urine, they are not there. So you are there and it just pours. You sit, it's pouring. You get up, it's pouring. You are walking, it's pouring. Then you know there's a problem. In the worst case scenario, even feces also come along the same way. So you are pouring urine, you are pouring feces at the same time.
You don't feel the urge to want to go to the washroom. It just comes.
It just comes. You don't have any control over it.
Well, we're taking a short break here. We'll return with international news shortly. Today, before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Late NPP's Upper East Regional Chair Adams Mahama to be buried tomorrow after final arrangements between family and party executives. Meanwhile, NPP Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan, demands immediate dismissal of National Party Chair and General Secretary. Acid attack on the rise. We told you much more about how to get acid on the market. Well, indeed, we also spoke to a chemist on the back of that as well. But that'll be it for news today. Like I mentioned, for more news, do want to log on to myjournline.com. My name is Kobna Chenche. Have a good afternoon.